Well, prynawn da everyone, which means good afternoon in Welsh. Nice sunny day on the May the 8th 2016. Now then, just a quick recap then. I'm just going to turn the camera around. Okay, so if you remember, this is my early broad beans. They're coming well now that it's a scorching hot day here at the moment. So a combination of rain and warm weather brings everything on very, very quickly. So as you can see, my rhubarb's coming up now nicely. Onions, my garlic and early onions are coming up. Early crop of broad beans. These, my main crop of broad beans, which just pan up. My wife is now transplanting some plants into the gaps that are left, so we got a nice even row. As I say, I didn't bother with this row simply because it'll be enough for us. Once these are finished, these will be ready then. This is my little Allotment rotavator, 3 horsepower. All I'm going to do with that is I've pre-forked the space in between the rows of spuds. I'll quickly show you what I did. All I've done is there we are, just like that. And what I found is the rotavator works a lot better if I get a little bit of exercise, and it uses less fuel because it hasn't got to work so hard to chop up the soil. Now, as far as I'm aware, 2 advantages with using the rotavator along here is to get a nice fine tilth on the soil. I've already done this row here, as you can see. Not as tidy as I'd like it to be, but I can tie that up later anyway. Also, if there are any slugs or slug eggs in the soil, then the rotavator will help chop them up. Obviously it'll chop the worms up, but I think the worms will multiply quite quickly. Onions are starting to show now, and my shallots. Now I don't know if I did tell you what I was doing this year with this. Now I've made a little ridge, and these are some main onions. I think they're reds actually that I've put in. Now I'm trying this method, which is in a ridge. Now they say it works better because the water drains away more quickly. Time will tell, as they say. Now, obviously these seeds, I had some seeds left over and I just threw them into this row here. You know, nothing planned major. Just dig these up and transplant them for the misses that have occurred in the row up there. Once all those are okay, I'll just let these grow a little bit and then I'll just chop them down. I'll let the nitrogen roots develop on the bottom. Okie doke, so get out of my wife's way while she collects more plants for me. So all I'm going to do now is get the rotavator going, and then I'll just work the soil, and then actually you can probably hear the wind coming out. Just work the soil and then earth up with the rake. Now you can just about see, where are we to? Saw some earlier. Oh, here we are. There we are. These are the main crop coming through now, so we'll so all I do now is just earth it up. Right, I'll sign off short for a while and then be back with you shortly. Bye for now. Okay, welcome back everybody. Excuse me. Right, just I'm going to show you the operation of the rotavator. Just swing it around a second so you can see, if the sun hasn't blinded you. So you can see I've done a little bit so far, and this little gadget here engages the actual blades. Now, to save me having to hold that in all the time, there's a button here. I can push that in and that locks it off. Obviously I got to remember excuse me, got to remember when I get to the end of the row that I unlock it. So my wife is now going to film me just do a little bit of rotavating here. Right, here we are. Hand it over to you, my dear. With your fingers, just hold it down there.
Okay, I haven't got a clue what I'm looking at, mate.
Well, just point it.
I can't see you. No idea what was wrong.
Much to the amusement of my wife. There we are. Okay.
Baby does watching YouTube.
So I'm just going to do the one row, obviously, because I don't want to be annoying the neighbours with the engine going all the time. So as you can see, got a nice furrow in the middle here where the back end of the rotavator dug in, and that's worked out nice because it means I can use that amount of soil for that row and this amount of soil for this row, and it's a nice guiding line for me. Yeah, a lot quicker, and you get a nice tilt on the soil. You don't get, if I try to do this by hand, I'd get really big lumps of soil and it wouldn't earth up so nicely. So okay, so I'll just finish for now, and yeah, so anyway, bye for now, and I'll see you a bit later. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Just finishing off now. So that's all the potatoes earthed up. I'll just pan around shortly for you to see. Hold on a sec. Right, apologies for the camera work, trying to do it all one-handed. So, as I say, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of potatoes. Second earlies, 3 main crop, Charlotte and Desiree. I've transplanted. I had some broad beans coming up there that I planted earlier. I threw some spare seed in, so I've transplanted those into this to have a nice even row. Correction, my wife transplanted them. I shouldn't take the credit. I say these, I don't know, it's a little bit skew with that line. I'll have to readjust him in a bit. What I will also do now is, I'm not going to do it now, but I'll in the next day or so, because I'm back in work tomorrow, I'll scatter some grow more on the very top of these ridges now as well, and that should be plenty of feed for the potatoes. Over time I'm going to be watering with comfrey mixed with water. So slight, I say disaster, but obviously if you can remember, the grass that I dug in came up to here, and so as I was rotivating it was pulling it back up, but a lot of it is rotted down, so that'll dry off and work its way into the ground over time. I'm not that worried about it. Now if I need, I shouldn't think I will have to, but if I need to earth up any more, all I need to do now, I can use this wolf tool just to get a little bit more soil, just like that, and then I can earth that up. So that won't be too much of a major issue. Main crop onions are coming along now. They've perked up. Shallots as well. Main crop onions, and again these are main crop onions in here. Some of them are coming, some of them are not. Don't know. Short row of perpetual beet, similar to spinach. Again, we'll do that in succession, so when this comes then we'll do another short row and another short row. So we've got it maturing at different stages. As I say, we call it perpetual beet. Basically it means you can cut it and it'll come again. Right, the fennel is regrowing now. I cut that back. I want that out of this ground eventually, but the piece I transplanted last year hasn't come for some reason, so I'm going to keep this in the ground for a little bit longer. Don't know where that's come from. I think that's a foxglove, that one there. As I say, with these broad beans that I just threw in, basically, I'll let them grow a bit longer, and then I'll just chop them down, and then on the roots will be little nodules of nitrogen. Now I did a little experiment here with the rotavator to see how well it would manage with this ground, but although it's been dug over, I need to redo it. I probably won't bother. I'll just use the wolf tool now, because, you know, as I do a row of planting at the time, just do a row, and it's very quick and simple with this tool. Very rarely use this rotavator, but anyway. Now, as I explained, now this is designed, I can attach another set of blades which will come out about here either side. But as I say, if I plant the potatoes wide enough so that I can get this, it's just over 2 forks width. So it's 1 fork width there, 1 fork width there, but it's just over. So I suggest enough to go through the row, between the rows, sorry, so I can earth up. Some people plant the rows of potatoes quite close together, and makes it you unless you've got a smaller machine than this, you'd never get between the potatoes. But also another thing, I had to work between the rows now before the potatoes got any bigger, because I noticed the roots were starting to get well formed underneath. So if I'd have left it any longer, I'd have damaged the roots. So that's done. My poles are in for my runner beans, bollotti beans, etc. My parsnip is growing nicely now. As I say, he'll grow up to around about here, which is like, I don't know, about 4 foot, 5 foot, something like that. Set seed, but I will obviously show you that. An odd onion set, which I don't know how that's got in there, but I've left him grow. Might as well. It's not in the way really. This patch, well, I've raked it over once to get the stones off, but I have to rake it again a little bit. My apples, my James Greaves, are flowering nicely. So, need a little trim there because that's a bit of dead wood. Trim him off. Same up here, that's got to come off. That one there. A little bit of dead wood there. Looks like a bit of dead wood there. So I just trim him off. I'm not very good at pruning, I have to admit. However, like something like this, I'll just take 2/3 off. So that's 1/3, 2/3. Yeah, so I'll cut him off about there. And that's the way I prune. Seems to work. There are plenty of apples anyway. These parsnips that I planted in as a safety measure, no safety measure, as a backup measure. They seem to be coming. Don't look much at the moment, but once they get more established, I'll then start cleaning the ground up, etc. Now, something I discovered over time. I don't know if you can see here, this area here, this is where I had the compost container, but I've moved it up. Now, because that's full, obviously, of goodness from all the compost that's been in there, what I will do is I'll plant some cauliflowers in there, because cauliflowers love rich ground. And when I accidentally planted some collies in a patch like this, which was up there 2 or 3 years ago, I had beautiful collies. So I can do the same this year. I can probably get about 3 in there, 3 collies, summer collies, and they should come lovely. And I've got another patch there, another patch, so there'll be enough cauliflowers for me. Got a good dose of rain the other day. The grass that I transplanted, that seems to be thriving, that's coming. Raspberries are spreading though, that's the only problem here. We'll clean that up. Anything else to report? I've got Mr. Mole is on the patch here now. I've got a mole trap in there. I haven't caught him yet though. As I say, everything now, the currants starting to flower. Right. So the potato that I planted in, or 2 potatoes that I planted in here, started coming through. So what I've done, I've put another tire on top, and I've put one more bag of a grow more bag inside, and I've only got one more tire left, so I'll have to buy. Mustn't buy anything. I'll get some more tires. And I'll try and get one, perhaps. Yeah, another 2 high. Oh, that'd be plenty. Yeah, 2 would be plenty, I would imagine. Right, as you can see, because it's so wet down here, the grass loves it. And there you go. Nice. So I'm trying to cover everything. I don't know if I remember. If you remember, I said about putting the mulch down, but I made a start here. This is nice thick mulch. I'll start. As I say, I'll cover all of this eventually. I've got a chap coming down to shred all that in the corner for me. Unfortunately, he wants money. No, I'm not tight. Well, not that much anyway, but no, I'm only joking. I've got to, now I dug a trench down here to produce a French drain, which basically is full of stones. Now, I don't know if you can see, I covered the stones with some fleece under there, of course. Bizarrely I've run out of stones now, so when I get some more stones I can fill this up. It was working quite well because we had a downpour and this filled up quite quickly. Right. Right, so it's gone 6, so I need to go and have some food, I'm starving. Right, okay everybody, bye for now. Well, welcome back everybody. Just a little footnote. As I was going home, saw one of the neighbours on the plot and just happened to be talking about tyres. And they said, oh, I've got a tyre. So I said, oh right, okay. Anyway, I'll show you the tyre. Yeah, just pan around. It's off a Porsche apparently, nothing but the best from. Oh dear, I can tell I'm getting tired now, but yes, so he's got another one apparently, so I'll have two Porsche tyres on my plot. Anyway, hopefully this is the last for today. Anyway, see you. Cheers everybody, bye for now.